Hello, everyone. Welcome to Self-Love You. My name is Jenna Ryan, your self-love life coach. Today's topic is how to stand up for yourself. How to stand up for yourself. This is something that I had to learn to do. It was not an easy learning curve. There was a very hard learning curve. Learning to stand up for yourself means that you validate yourself, means you believe yourself, means you trust yourself, and means that you are willing to take action on your own behalf, whether or not it is agreeable to the crowd or to others. Taking up for yourself is something that we have to do in everyday life. And so many people just don't know how to do it. It's one thing, there's different ways to take up for yourself. You know, there's a process of taking up for yourself by setting a boundary and requiring that the people in your life hear you, listen to you, respect you. And if they don't, standing up for yourself can mean walking away. Can you hear that thunder? Standing up for yourself can mean walking away. It can mean speaking up. It can mean distancing. It can mean asking for what you need. It can mean saying no. Standing up for yourself is a very complex topic. It may sound like an easy topic, but once you really think about it, standing up for yourself is difficult, especially if you have patterns of people-pleasing and codependency, and you really don't know where you stop and other people begin. And standing up for yourself in those cases can be difficult. Why? Because you are so often convinced by the other person that you don't have the right, or even convinced by yourself that you don't have the right to want what you want, to need what you need, to think what you think, and to do what you need to do to make a stand. So you have to really have a self-understanding that I deserve to be heard in this situation. So I deserve, my feelings matter. My thoughts matter, my feelings matter, my needs matter, I matter. When you realize how much you matter and when you back yourself up, then you're able to stand up for yourself. Standing up for yourself means that you're willing to do what can be unpopular to the crowd. Your best friend may want you to just take all of her abuse. She may want you, may want to rant and rave and not hear what you have to say and not adjust her behavior to suit your feelings, to make you feel comfortable. She may want to behave in a certain way, and you have to say, that's not okay with me. And you have to say it in a way that's very assertive. But not only do you have to say it, you also have to back it up. You have to mean it. So if you are standing up for yourself, you have to be willing to walk away from anyone or anything or any situation where your rights or your truth or your needs are being invalidated, disregarded, where you're being disrespected. Those are the places that you have to walk away from. And then, guess what? When you stand up for yourself, there is such a price to pay. You have to pay a price in terms of not having that feeling of having that person close to you. So if you're standing up to your best friend and you love your best friend, but your best friend refuses to stop ranting and raving at you in the evenings or whenever she did or he did or whomever, I'm just giving you an example. Then you have to walk away and not have that friend anymore. And that is painful. So standing up for yourself requires quite a bit of courage. It requires that you prefer being in pain without someone than being in pain with them. It means that your pain is equal to other people's pain, or your value is equal to other people's value, and you have minimum standards, and that your standards matter, and what you want and what you need matters. I'm not talking about a spoiled brat. I'm not talking about someone who always has to have things their way. I'm talking about someone who is reasonable, who is moderate, who is in need of an adjustment or in need of certain kinds of treatment, and able to stand up and say no in a very kind, nice, neat, assertive way. That does not work for me. And then if that type of behavior continues, having the ability to emotionally detach from that person, place, thing, situation, and knowing that there is better coming your way. When you stand up for yourself, you gain self-esteem. Self-esteem is volatile. Self-esteem is garnered by what we do and how we treat ourselves. Self-worth is inherent. It is not volatile. It is always constant. You always have worth, but you don't always recognize it. When you want to recognize your worth, and when your self-esteem begins to get high or higher, you don't want it too high. You don't want to be too stuck up, right? You just want to be in that middle, very healthy level. As you begin to have esteem for yourself and feel the worth that is inherent to yourself, then you will be able to stand up and walk away, knowing that the road will rise up to meet you, and that just beyond this negative situation, there are positive situations and people, places, and things that will respect you and treat you in the manner in which you require and you deserve. Standing up for yourself takes practice. This is a skill. It is learned behavior. If when you were a child, you had people that put you down, told you to shut up, told you to go away, then you may not have the skill set to stand up for yourself. A 2-year-old learns how to say no. As an adult, if you were not validated in your feelings about who you were and who you are, as an adult, you will not validate your feelings. So you have to learn to begin to validate your feelings by staying in touch and in tune with the still small voice inside that says that's not okay, that hurts. And then you have to have backup within yourself. You literally, it's like learning to ride a bike. It's not very easy at first, but once you get going, it becomes very simple. Standing up for yourself and saying, first it's real like, okay, self, you need to take a stand. And you're like, okay, I'm going to. And you're almost just having a conversation within. Okay, I'm going to take a stand. Okay, let's do it. It doesn't stay like that forever, but when you're just learning how to stand up for yourself in the beginning, that's the way it feels. It's like you're having a dialogue within, and then learning to heed those emotions within, like your anger. Like if you feel angry about something, being able to say, okay, why am I angry? Rather than it just being like just an overall malaise. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but you can feel just like angry and you don't even know why. So you have to start really connecting the emotion with the reason. to the best of your ability. And that takes, again, more practice. So you have to say, okay, I'm angry about this and I need to do something about it. I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to tell my best friend she can't rant at me every evening. I don't want to because I love her and I don't want to make her mad. But I have to let her know that I don't want to be ranted to every evening. Dang. And that's really painful because you know what? In a lot of these relationships we develop as we're learning and going, we develop relationships where we're the one man out. We're the one who has to sacrifice. And we don't dare make requests or ask others to adjust their behaviors to suit us. Instead, we just tolerate behaviors that we don't like, and we fear losing friendships or losing family members or whomever if we dare say what we don't like. If we dare set a boundary, then we might lose them. But what I've found is that it's so much better to have yourself intact. Even if you have to spend a season where they're not around and you're alone. In order to stand up for yourself, it's worth it. There's nothing worth sacrificing your requirements. There's nothing worth sacrificing yourself. Because if you do not take a stand and you do not say, that bothers me, I don't like that, and if you do that any longer, I'm going to have to leave. That is taking a stand. And being able to do that is so powerful. That is your power. You lose your power when you stay in situations that are uncomfortable without doing something about it. Sometimes it's better not to. Some people are never going to accept your boundaries, okay? And when that is the case, you don't necessarily have to try to set boundaries with somebody who obviously has no capacity to hear you, understand you, or do anything about it. So some people in your life can be in your life, but they only get to come so far. And if they're going to rant and rave, then you know, okay, I'm not going to be able to set a boundary with this person because they're not going to respect my feelings. But I'm going to stand up for myself within myself, which means I'm going to put that person in a category in my life where they don't get access. I'm not going to expect this person to do anything other than rant and rave. That person rants and raves. They're not going to hear me. I can't expect them to understand what I don't understand. What they don't understand. I can't expect them to change or hear me or understand or respect me. I can't. I cannot get someone to do that. And when you know that, then you can put them in the appropriate place. And perhaps, get off the phone if they're ranting, or lessen the time that you talk to them, or lessen the importance that person has in your life. Standing up for yourself will cost you. There's a cost. There's a fee. Freedom isn't free. But you can only be free when you're able to assert yourself, your existence, your sense of self. If you're able to assert who you are and you're able to make requests and expect certain standards from others, then you are free. You're free to be true to yourself. And you're not sitting there in an environment, in a situation, hanging around people who are bulldozing you, who are steamrolling you. You become the world is not happening to you, you're happening to the world. You have an internal locus of control instead of an external locus of control when you stand up for yourself. People may not like you standing up for yourself In fact, many will not like it. They won't like the new you. They won't like your ideas. They will clash with you. They won't agree, and they don't even think you have the right to even exist. You don't have the right to have a say. You don't have the right to exercise your rights. You should just be quiet. You should shut up. You're dumb. People are going to think that. And it becomes necessary when standing up for yourself to stand firm in your faith and your beliefs and your values and your truth and your authenticity and what you know is right in your gut for you, and to be able to stand up and believe in yourself and what you have to say, and moderately, very, you can't go out and do anything bad, but you can speak and you can take action. And by action, I mean do whatever it takes to get out of the situation, or do whatever it takes to stand up, speak out, share your truth. I know for me, it's always been hard. I'm not one of those kind of people at a restaurant who will return food if it's not to my liking. I'm the kind of person that will just eat the rare steak, even if it's not cooked well enough. Have you ever seen those people that are just so good at sending stuff back? I have a lot of respect for them, even though they're annoying. I have a lot of respect for people who take a stand and take things back and require a certain they have a certain expectation. I love that. I love that in people. Although I don't like eating with them, because then you have to wait for their food to come out perfectly. And I used to be a waitress, and I remember this one lady, she was like, "This steak is not good." And out of, 50 people, she was the only one who acted like that. Now, yeah, that's a little ridiculous. However, I think it's important that we make sure that the things that we're paying for are to our liking and to our satisfaction, and not to an extreme level, but within reason. We're taking a stand. We're not tolerating, buying a bag of salad and it's rotten. You know what I mean? We have to take it back to the store, and we have to do things that validate ourselves, make sure that we are following up on the little things in our life. Did you know that you can stand up for yourself by following up with the little things? We may not realize it, but it's self-abandonment a lot of the time to just let things go, not clean our car, or not take care of our finances, not pay that past due bill, not even track our finances, or not take care of our educational needs, not finish that degree, not complete that assignment. Those are ways of not standing up for yourself. Standing up for yourself comes from the adult part of yourself that says, I am going to stand up and I'm going to take care of my own business. And yes, it is scary sometimes whenever you're first doing it. And yes, it can be inconvenient, and there's better things you'd like to be doing. But if you're not looking at your, watching your bank statement, some of you are probably great at this and going, what are you talking about? For me, it takes diligence, because really following up, making sure that all the bills are just paid correctly and I'm not overcharged and things like that. And then calling the company if you are overcharged, and not being angry about it. You can feel anger and not be obnoxious. Anger is a really good tool, and there's different kinds of anger. I'm talking about the anger that's a tool to teach us that our boundaries are violated, or some part of us, our dignity is being trampled on in some way. There's ways to express this valuable emotion in a way that's not curt, that's not rude, that's neutral, that's kind, that's respectful, but just that lets you and everybody else know that you know what's up and you've got this and you're doing this. Does that make sense? So just going, off the handle is overboard. That's not moderate. Yelling at someone is not the best thing to do. It just makes you look foolish. Being a quick-tempered person makes you look foolish. But if you can be very orderly in your process of standing up for yourself, then it works. It's just, that's what people do. It's standing up for yourself and standing up for your child, teaching your child to stand up for his self or herself, not just brushing their needs under the rug, but really applauding your child when your child is able to assert their needs and say, that doesn't feel good, I don't want that. And saying, awesome, great, yay. Instead of saying, you don't know what you want, and brushing them under the table or brushing their needs off or, trying to get away from the situation. Really respecting kids when they are able to express their likes, dislikes. That's where it all comes from. Respecting yourself helps you to be able to stand up for yourself. Sometimes when you stand up for yourself, especially in the beginning, when you just get started, you're really going to tick a lot of people off. Because a lot of people like you right where you are. Because if you haven't been standing up for yourself, you are serving a lot of people. And you're serving a lot of people for the wrong reason. You may think you're serving them because that's just the way life is, but you will find once you begin to get assertive and start standing up for yourself, you will find that you're actually doing it in a manipulative way, not consciously manipulative, but a manipulative way to keep them in your life because you're afraid you're not worthy of having them in it. So you just allow them to get away with things that otherwise, if you had a backbone, if you had assertion, you would say, no way, Jose. Sometimes standing up for yourself looks like quitting. Sometimes it looks like quitting a job. Okay? So it can have all these ramifications. You'll hear 1 minute, don't quit. And then on the next minute, you have to quit sometimes. You got to know when to quit. It means knowing when to walk away. It means knowing when to just be in and of yourself and not at the mercy of someone else who just wants to walk all over you. And beginning to recognize, okay, I have a feeling and I don't know where it's coming from, but I think it might have something to do with the fact that Sally made me feel like crap today because she just went off on my hair color. Or I think I feel like crap because my nails didn't get the proper treatment and I just spent $125 to get them done. Or I just had a painter come and paint my front door and they splattered paint all over the front porch. I think that's why I'm angry. Really understanding, putting two and two together, connecting the dots and understanding why you're angry. And then that helps you to not be passive aggressive. It helps you to face situations straight on, and you're not hiding from the situations. You're actually saying, okay, I think I'm mad because someone splattered paint and I don't have the guts to call the person and say, come back and fix the paint, please. Because these little offenses that you don't stand up about will build up and build up and build up. And you want to make sure that you surround yourself with people that respect when you do stand up for yourself. A good relationship would be with someone who totally respects you. If you stand up for yourself, they're like, wow, okay, I get that. And I care about you enough to make adjustments. And even better would be somebody that would, would just respect you all the way around. When you respect yourself, you stand up for yourself. When other people, and whenever you stand up for yourself, other people respect you. When you act in a way that is not demands, I don't want to say demands, that conveys you respect yourself and you're going to stand up for yourself, you get respect from others. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't set boundaries, if you don't take a stand for what you believe in, for what you need, for what you want, within reason, I'm not saying don't be, I'm not saying you want to be, stubborn and uncooperative. No, you have to be cooperative and fabulous. You've got to be everything. But you also have to take a stand. And if someone doesn't like your stand, then that's their problem. You are the winner of your life, and you're the you're the chief. God is my chief, but underneath God in my life, it's me, and I take care of my life. And if I don't take care of it, no one else will. If I don't take a stand, no one else will. So I want to encourage you guys today to do one thing every day that shows yourself, I'm standing up for you. I am standing up for myself. I'm going to do those things that I don't think I'm worthy of having done for me. I'm going to clean out my closet. I'm going to organize my dishes. I'm going to wash my dishes. I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to sign up for that class. I'm going to go and take a stand for myself by getting a better job, by, refusing to work overtime for free, by not accepting rude behavior from others. I'm going to take up for myself. I want you to take up for yourself today in all ways that you can think of. And I would love to hear your comments about how you're taking up for yourself and how this information that I'm sharing really applies in your life and how you're taking up for yourself, because I know we're all on this journey together, learning to be assertive, learning to know that we're worthy and that we exist. Anyway, I'd love to hear your comments. Please like and share. Until next time, this is Jenna Ryan. I'll talk to you soon.